What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So we got another episode of This Week in Warframe, where we go over this entire weekly reset, and what to expect as a Warframe player this week. Real quick, we are on Dante Unbound, a new update watch, basically, because it's supposed to come out in March. My current prediction is Wednesday the 13th, but we'll have to see. There's no current announcement for the actual date. Before we go over this other stuff, make sure you sub this channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads. I'll be live on stream doing this weekly reset stuff too. So if you want to come stop by and grind it out, come on by. Alright, let's get right into it with the first weekly reset item at Teshin. It's gonna be a Zal Riven mod for 75 steel essence. Not really worth it at all. These Rivens are these Zal Rivens are worth like 1 to 5 plat, if that. They're like the lowest value Rivens pretty much. So I wouldn't really recommend going for this for 75 steel essence, but if you want to, that's your steel essence basically. But yeah, so as far as things coming up this week, there's not a whole lot. We're waiting for the Dante Unbound update to get officially announced when it's releasing. But there is a alert coming up this week, and I believe it's going to be a next weekend on the 8th, starting on March 8th, 11 a.m. and going until March 11th, 11 a.m. There will be a Jupiter defense mission for a Gauss in action glyph. Additionally, starting on the 15th, there will be a new alert for a brand new weapon skin. It will be starting on the 15th, so we'll have an update on that next week, but March 15th until March 25th at 11 a.m., there'll be a mobile defense for a special new melee skin. That's really all you got right now. So we're waiting for them to actually announce when it's coming out. And like I said, the March 13th is my guess. March 22nd is the next dev stream, but that's like at the end of the month pretty much. So hopefully they'll announce the release date at the dev stream. That would be a long wait for, it's gonna be a smaller update, to be honest, compared to like things like Devery and all that. It's more like Citrine's Last Wish, Dante Unbound. Checking out Archides wares. For the week, we got double Kuva again. So we got 5,000 Kuva twice for 10 Pathos each. You got a Companion Riven mod for 20 Pathos, a Shotgun Riven for 15 Pathos, and an Exilus Warframe Adapter for 20 Pathos. As far as any of these being worth it, maybe the Shotgun Riven would be worth it to you. It's one Steel Path Aura Worm run to get 15 Pathos. That's like a one run, one Riven, so not that bad. But the rest of the stuff really not super worth it to me. But if that's what the stuff you want to spend your Pathos on, be my guest.
It should have been noted.
As far as the Nightwave season, guys, we are about, I think we're 15, 14 weeks into the Nightwave currently, and these Nightwaves usually go for about 4 to 5 months, maybe even longer. So I'm guessing that in about the next month and a half, they will tell us the end date for this Nightwave. So don't get started. You don't have to get started and rush in yet, but if you have not done any of the Nightwave stuff and you want to get level 30, you might want to keep it in the back of your mind that doing this stuff wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. All right, moving on to our actual weekly reset stuff here. We have the circuit. For the normal path, our options are going to be Excalibur normal, Trinity normal, and Ember normal. Now, as far as who has the best helmet of the bunch, they're really not heavily used helmet. The helmet of Ember is Fire Blast, giving AoE armor strip. Helmet of Trinity is Well of Life, which could cheese thumpers, but now it doesn't do that anymore, so it's pretty much useless. And we have Radial Blind from Excalibur. Now, they're all pretty easy to get, but I do think that the most annoying one to farm is Trinity, because she comes from the Ambulus fight on Pluto. It's a pretty long fight. They made it take less time. But yeah, as far as the least annoying, or the most annoying one to farm that you could bypass here, go for Trinity normal. But they all just are boss fight drops anyway, so not a big deal. Moving on to the Steel Path, Devery, get ready for some good stuff. You've been waiting, guys. Here comes some of the good Incarnons this week. Just a reminder, though, if you haven't played in a while, you can pick these items here instead of Incarnons if you prefer to pick that, if you have rank 9 Opportunity Intrinsic. But if you don't have these already, make sure you pick these instead, because these are some of the best Incarnons in the game. Starting off the Torrid Incarnon. Starts as an infested grenade launcher, and then the Incarnon form becomes a very powerful beam with chaining damage and base toxin. This is viewed as one of the best weapons in the game, and it's very, very nice for Steel Path missions, nice for, melted enemies. You can get lots of crit, lots of status, and since it's purely toxin, there's unique combinations of elements you can do on this thing that most other guns can't do. A very high recommendation on this list. It's like a red crit death beam, basically. Next, we got the Dual Toxicist Incarnon. Somehow better than this, in my eyes. So this thing will become full auto and chain between enemies when it becomes Incarnon form, and this is one of my go-to level 10,000 Steel Path slaying weapons. So really, really good. You can go watch my Zombie Revenant video and things like that to see my Dual Toxis build. But basically, it's so it's so good, it doesn't even require Bane mods nowadays. So this is probably my number one recommendation if you're looking at level 10,000s. The dual Ichor Incarnon, now melee influence of the dual Ichor did get nerfed. It no longer like spreads 3 rooms away with Saren's 3. But they're still one of the best melees in the game, so you're totally fine to pick these up if you want to get a really good melee weapon. These have, I believe they have base Toxin as well, just like the Torrid, and what this will do is on enemy kill, it will make a Toxin cloud from where their death was. An enemy can walk into that and take procs, it goes off your elemental damage, it's just really nice. So, they're also very good at level 10,000 as well. You're looking for endurance weapons this week, you got lots of choices. Yeah, just, buff them up, get a bunch of crits, and they will take care of level 10,000s in like one slice. So very good with Varuna, for example. The Miter Incarnon, one of my favorites. It hits really, really hard. One of the best Acolyte killing weapons in the game right here, because it has so much damage. The Miter also has an augment called Neutralizing Justice, where you can shoot this thing at a nullifier bubble, and it will instantly pop the nullifier bubble. That's pretty good. Additionally, this thing, like I said, hits really hard, so you can use this like in combination. Let's say a good loadout right here would be like dual Toxins just for taking out trash ads, like a huge group of them, and your anti-Acolyte weapon would be like the Miter. It will kill the Acolyte in like 1-2 bullets easily. That being said, like it's not exactly as easy to use as the Torrid, because the Torrid can build Incarnon off of body shots. The Miter still requires headshots, unfortunately. So as far as ease of use, the Miter still gonna, or the Torrid's still gonna beat out the Miter, but for like Acolyte kill, I feel this a lot better than the Torrid. But hey, up to you. I'd say probably go for the Torrid over the Miter. It's just so much easier to use. Be a nice one regardless. And the Atomos Incarnon, definitely the most underwhelming of these from the week, but that doesn't mean it's bad. This is still a really good pistol. It's a chaining laser or a chaining beam weapon with built-in fire damage, and the Incarnon form becomes a grenade launcher with really good damage. But I think it removes the base heat. So if you're using Cascadia Flare, you'll need to charge up the meter or the arcane on the primary shot. And if you're not modded for heat on the Incarnon form, you will not be proccing Cascadia Flare from the Incarnon form. But still really good. The main problem with this thing is it kills enemies so quickly that it doesn't feel like it builds Incarnon very easily. And it chews through its Incarnon ammo relatively fast as well. Alright, so best recommendations this week. I'd say really easy loadout this week would just be Dual Tox and Torrid. But let's say you don't want to go for, let's say you already have good primaries or good secondaries. This is probably the best secondary in the game, just to give you a heads up. But if you want to go for like a melee and a primary, I wouldn't blame you either. I just usually don't recommend people go for double pistols. Like if you went for Dual Tox and Atomos, you would only be able to use one pistol at a time. So I'd say don't do that. So yeah, number 1 and number 2 would probably be Torrid and Dual Tox. But if you want to go for a melee, go for Torrid and Dual Ichor, or for Dual Ichor and Dual Tox, because you're basically looking at like 4 of the best weapons of the game right here, with the actual best pistol in the game right here too. So it would be a shame if you didn't pick this, but really guys, have fun with whatever you want. Torrid is super easy to use and very good for endurance runs in the Steel Path. So yeah, number 1 and number 2 would be Torrid and Dual Tox though. All right, moving on to your Archon Hunt. Let's see what we got. Now reminder, if you've not paying attention to all the news and all that, the Archon Shard that Chipper has will be removed from Chipper in the Dante Unbound update, which will be hopefully on Wednesday the 13th. So you don't need to really do call missions anymore if you don't want to. But for your Archon Hunt, these will still be good and worth doing. At least to me they are. We've got the Yellow Archon Shard, the Amber Archon Shard from the Snake Archon on Jupiter. And the mission types are Sabotage, Defense, and the Final Boss Showdown. Good luck getting that Archon Shard. These can become green shards or orange shards. You combine them with the fusion system. And yeah, just a reminder too, there will be Archon Shard Fusion, so you can combine these things together. Also, I don't think I have the clip right now, but a couple things that you guys might not remember every week. Go to Archimedean Yanta on the Chrysalith to get 35,000 Kuva per week. Additionally, Iron Wake, you can talk to Paula Dean on Iron Wake for 35,000 Kuva and some ribbons every week. And I think that's pretty much the only weekly stuff oh yeah, also the weekly Maru Hunt is also something you might want to remember. It's not that big of a deal though. Moving on to the call mission, might not keep covering the call missions in these videos going forward, just because I don't think people care about them as much, but we'll see. Because there will be a new mission type put on the Kavia that will be RNG dependent per week. So yeah, these videos will change, guys, going forward. We just need to see what's actually happening with that new update. So Red Archon Shard at Chipper. So this shard will be moved from Chipper to the Kavia, and it will be available for Kavia Rep. I'm assuming it will be for Echo Vocas, but they just said Rep, so we don't know exactly what it'll be for. Red Shard of him, though. So going forward, if you want to keep doing call, you can buy Archon mods to sell to other players, I guess. If you're a crazy person that has done every call mission, you got Prison Break right here, with the challenges being hopefully not the worst ones ever. Let's see how terrible they are, though. Complete the mission without dying or becoming veiled. Get 5 kills with a grenade while flying. Defeat the mini boss, side boss. Find 3 hidden caches. That one's pretty annoying on this one. Find Call's Missing Floof, another annoying one. And take out 10 enemies with a dropship. So at least there's no 15-minute or less timer thing. No pizza delivery call today. But yeah, this is definitely the worst mission, and it really is annoying to go scavenger hunt for this stuff. But yeah, it's not 15-minute timer, so it's not as bad as usual. For your Nightwave challenges, let's go ahead and see what we got. Like I said, don't worry about doing these really quickly, because the Nightwave will be here for a while. They always give at least 2 weeks notice before it goes away. All right, first one, we got the Void Flood. Complete 3 Void Flood missions of high ground. Pretty straightforward. Complete 5 Syndicate missions of any type. Defeat 5 Void Angels as your first Elite Weekly for Fallen Angel. So that's pretty straightforward. It doesn't need to be a Steel Path. You can just do the lowest level Void Angel, and they're like level like 70 or something. Really not that bad compared to like a Steel Path Void Angel. But if you watch my Amp guide from yesterday, you should have no problem killing a Steel Path Void Angel at all if you have that stuff. Hold your breath, survive for over 20 minutes in Kuva Survival. So that's Tavuni on the Kuva Fortress. That's the only Kuva Survival node there is. And you got your normal weeklies here. Kill 30 Eximus, complete 15 missions, and kill 500 enemies. Those will be here every single week, and it's just a pretty standard week of Nightwave right here. As far as your Nightwave store over here, we got the default stuff. We got a Kalervo helmet, so that's cool. If you like Kalervo's alternate helmet, it's available right there. And we've got some, these are going to be off the personal preference, of course. The Goth helmet is here again. So we got the Goth and Kalervo helmets. And the rest of the stuff is just kind of whatever. I don't see any Arcane helmets. For as far as Aura mods, we got Deadeye, giving increased sniper damage. Physique, giving increased health. Corrosive Projection, reducing enemy armor. A must-have augment. You should get this. Or must-have Aura if you don't have this already. Get that one. EMP Aura, a must-not-have augment. This augment's terrible. This Aura's terrible. Don't get that one. And Steel Charge, another really good one. So you got Physique. So you got Corrosive Protection and you got Steel Charge this week. 2 of the best Aura mods in the game. If you don't have both of these, make sure you get them. For Mastery Fodder, we got the Heat Sword and the Dark Dagger. For Conclave Aug mods, we got Shrapnel Round to the Merlock, Deceptive Bond for Loki, Prism Guard for Mirage, which is actually a good one you might want to get, and Rumbled for Atlas. So yeah, as far as stuff to pick up in this Nightwave store this week, you should get the Corrosive Protection, Steel Charge, and if you play Mirage, maybe get Prism Guard. And that's basically it for your weekly reset, guys. It's not exactly an exciting week in Warframe. We've got, we're basically just on, like I said, we're on Dante watch right now. Hopefully Dante's here on the 13th, but DE will likely announce it this week when the update will be. Let's take a look at those Invigorations in the back of the ship. And just a weekly reminder, these are RNG per account. So just because I have Citrine, Grendel, Mirage, doesn't mean that you have Citrine, Grendel, Mirage. Or the stats are different as well. So if you want to unlock this stuff, you can buy it in the market for the Helmet Invigoration segment, or you can go to the Necrolisk and unlock this by grinding to level 3 of the Syndicate there. Let's go over what I have, because it's just fun to look at this stuff. Alright, we got Citrine getting increased ability duration by 100% and 200% increased energy max. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Yeah, I see no problems with this one. I mean, it's not like the most OP one, but reminder, the duration stat on Citrine will make it where she gets more stats duration when you're using the third ability, the Crystalline Turret. I don't know what it's actually called. The Crystal Turret, I call it, though. Ability duration, pretty good on Citrine. Energy max, not as needed. But I can probably take off Prime Flow. We got Grendel here with increased melee damage and 75% ability efficiency. Maybe it would have been nice like a couple years ago when he could eat 40 enemies at a time. He can only eat 5 enemies, 4 or 5 enemies now. So it's not really as needed. But still, I was considering making a Grendel video this week. I don't think I'd really use this one for it, though. Whatever. And for the final one, we got Mirage. Melee crit chance and heal rate. Talk about useless for arbitrations. That is one of the worst arbitration, invigorations you can get, because we're not using melees there, and we're also not taking damage. So, too bad about those invigorations, but hey, you know what? Hopefully you guys get something more excited than me. I will see you on stream very soon. I appreciate all the support. And yeah, guys, good luck getting those Tau shards. Take it easy. Peace.